Appears ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us on CoreTV News on the hour. I am Ebunlomo Adekunle. President Goodluck Jonathan has commiserated with the former Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nasir El-Rufai, on the death of his son, Hamza. In a statement by Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Ruben Abati, the President says the outpouring of support at this moment by his friends and associates would comfort El-Rufai. He prayed for the repose of the deceased soul. The Lagos State government has called on Nigerians to be calm and not panic, assuring them that both the state and federal governments are well prepared to ensure that the Ebola virus disease does not spread and that no Nigerian is infected with the virus. Addressing a joint ministerial briefing of the Lagos State Ministry of Health and Federal Ministry of Health, Lagos State Commissioner for Health, Jide Idris, says there has only been one case of imported Ebola, resulting in the death of a Liberian diplomat in Lagos. He added that health authorities are very proactive about the detection of the Ebola virus in the Liberian who was on his way to Calabar for a conference by ensuring that all contacts are being actively followed.
Preliminary laboratory investigation conducted by the NCDC A1 Virology Laboratory of Lagos University Teaching Hospital and the World Bank funded African Center of Excellence for Genomics of Infectious Diseases of the Redeemers University detected viral DNA and in both blood and urine samples obtained from the patient, and both were positive for the pan-filovirus analysis and the Ebola Zaire MGB virus strain specific analysis. In conclusion, we can categorically state that as of today, we have only one case of imported Ebola virus and only one death as of now. No Nigerian has been reported infected, but all the contacts of this person are being actively followed. We call on all Nigerians to be calm and not panic, and do hereby assure them that both the state and the federal governments are up in arms to ensure that the virus does not escape and that no Nigerian is infected with this virus.
President of the Nigerian Academy of Science, Tomoru Oyewale, says all the contact persons are being screened on a continuous basis to look for any possible signs of the disease. He commended the timely action taken by the Lagos State government and the private hospital, adding that there is absolutely no need for people to panic, as the golden rule is to observe the personal hygiene of always washing the hands regularly with soap.
Ebola is occurring in different parts of West Africa. And people are still coming from there. We must still be on the alert, and until the epidemic is declared completely free from those areas, we must continue to be on the alert. Remember, this disease, as we said, it has no drug, no vaccine. What we need is being careful, washing our hands of time, and the hospitals, what they've done so far, continue to do them. And please send the message that there's absolutely no reason to panic about Ebola.
Following the suspension of flights to Liberia by Arik Airline in Nigeria, some passengers to Monrovia and Banjul are now stranded in some parts of the country, including Lagos. CoreTV News learned that some stranded passengers at the Murtala Muhammad International Airport were trying to make alternative plans to travel to Monrovia. Some of them, including Nigerians, wondered why the drastic measure to cut off some countries on the continent because of the deadly Ebola virus. Some airlines had announced the suspension of flights from Nigeria to Liberia, Guinea, Sierra Leone and the Gambia, and moves taken to curb the spread of the virus. only one airline in Nigeria operates commercial flights to international destinations. It was learned that some of the stranded passengers had opted to fly to Ghana or Benin Republic first before connecting another flight to their destinations. United States health officials say they are monitoring the Ebola outbreak in Africa. They said the risk of the deadly disease spreading to the U.S. is remote. The Center for Disease Control sent a health alert to U.S. doctors about the outbreak. There are no travel restrictions to the West Africa region hit by the disease. But last month, the center issued a mid-level travel advisory for health workers. 2 American aid workers in Liberia have contracted the Ebola virus, and it has killed the Liberian husband of an American woman who said he could have easily brought the disease home to the U.S. The family of Patrick Sawyer, who died on July 24, recently returned to the U.S. for a visit. The CDC said they were not affected. Officials stressed people are not contagious until they show symptoms, and the Sawyer's family left Liberia days before he fell ill. Sawyer, a consultant for Liberia's finance ministry, collapsed on arrival at Lagos Airport. Nigerian businesses will no longer enjoy duty-free exports to the U.S. if some American senators are their way. As many as 10 senators who are members of the Democratic Party, according to leading online newspaper The Cable, have called on President Barack Obama to move against Nigeria and Uganda over anti-gay laws. President Goodluck Jonathan signed the Nigerian version of the law this year, making it illegal for persons to engage in or promote homosexuality. The senators, led by Christopher Murphy, have highlighted a section of the African Growth and Opportunity Act to make their case against Nigeria as well as Uganda, which also enacted similar anti-gay laws. Côte d'Ivoire, Madagascar, Guinea and Niger have lost AGUA eligibility in the past because of military coups. AGUA, authorized in 2000, makes big, non-reciprocal incentives for sub-Saharan African countries to expand trade, stimulate economic growth, and integrate into the global economy. These benefits are currently being enjoyed mostly by agricultural and textile exporters, including small and medium-scale businesses. However, the eligibility clause says a beneficiary country must not engage in gross violations of international recognized human rights. Gay rights are considered as basic human rights. The senators argued that anti-gay laws severely limit access to healthcare, housing, education, and freedom of expression. Gay marriage in Nigeria is a taboo. The federal government of Nigeria has refused to bow to international pressure regarding gay marriages. The bill prohibiting gay marriages contains penalty of 14 years in prison for anyone caught in the act. Reacting to the pressure from the senators of the United States government for Obama to move against Nigeria over anti-gay marriages, Lagos-based lawyer Festus Keyamo says America is ignorant of Nigeria's norms and culture.
I don't think they are well informed about the disposition of people in Africa to the gay issue. If they are well informed, I don't think they will make that kind of move because in Africa we have a completely different culture and tradition. And if your laws must conform with your natural inclinations. Your laws must conform with your traditions and your culture. I am not saying, take note, that all aspects of our anti-gay law now, they are correct. For instance, you cannot ban gay relationships. You cannot. You can only ban gay marriages. There are two different issues there. You can't say you are arresting me because I've gone into a man's house to sleep with him. Leave me alone. The only thing is that don't offend public sensibilities by not coming out to a registry, calling people, calling a ceremony, say, I want to marry a fellow man or a woman wants to marry. That is offending public sensibility. You can ban gay marriages. In fact, it's already banned because by our Marriage Act, a man cannot marry a man. They say it's a union between a man and a woman. So leave it the way it is. But now to go ahead, our law, so now say you are banning gay relationships. If they see me and you now in the night holding hand, they'll come and arrest us. No. You cannot do that. Leave them. That's their freedom. It's their freedom. So there's something we still need to look at internally too. within our own laws correct the situation. But after that, you cannot force us to approve gay marriages. I am totally against gay marriages.
2 female suicide bombers on Monday struck in the Kano metropolis. The first one detonated explosives at the NNPC mega station, killing herself and 3 others. The police explained that the bomber slipped into a crowd buying kerosene before blowing herself up at about 10 in the morning. The second blast happened around 1:45 in the afternoon near ShopRite Mall along Zoo Road. The police said it was also detonated by a female bomber who died on the spot without achieving a aim of bombing the mall. There was a bomb scare in Kaduna metropolis earlier in the day. It, however, turned out that what was thought to be a bomb was an abandoned package of polythene bags by the roadside. Before a bomb squad discovered the content of the strange pack, the usually busy Ahmadu Bello Way was virtually deserted. Vehicles were diverted while shop owners closed their shops. But after security personnel had cordoned off the road and carried out necessary checks, the sack was found to contain waste polythene bags wrapped in the sack. The package was said to have been dropped by a truck pusher. When contacted, Kaduna Police spokesperson Aminu Lawan confirmed the incident but commended the people of the area for their consciousness. Security forces were on high alert at many of the fun spots in the Federal Capital Territory on the first day of the Eid holiday. Soldiers searched every vehicle moving into the Millennium Park aside from frisking every picnicker. Despite the security checks, many Abuja residents were eager to catch fun at the iconic park. Pius Samuel has more.
This is the main entrance to the Millennium Park, and this is what residents pass through to gain access. Despite the rain showers, these people turn out in their numbers, but the crowd is clearly not as large as previous years. These foreigners are part of the crowd at the park. So also are local drummers and artists. In all this, security personnel were at alert to make sure the park is safe. But this woman said, in spite of the security presence, she is still scared.
I'm doing everything peacefully. Even when I'm here, I'm still afraid. Very soon I'm going to leave here. Someone should be careful. Because at least, despite the fact that we still have security, but they are still coming in. So we have to be careful.
For this retired police officer, he wished there was no insecurity in the country.
What I'm expecting is that the security of this nation should be very tight. Although I know that the security agents have been doing their best, the government is putting in their best also, but more need to be done.
But for this 16-year-old girl, it's fun all the way.
Actually, it's been fun, so much fun. I just came out today with my friends, chilling with them. Hope it's going to be a great day. We just have this faith that nothing is going to happen. So if we keep staying at home because we're scared of bomb blasts and so on, it's not going to help matters. So it's better we'll come out, forget about everything and just pray to God everything goes well.
For many of these fun seekers, the prevailing security challenge won't stop them from celebrating the end of the Ramadan fast. But they also agree on the need for increased security consciousness among Nigerians. Pius Samuel, CoreTV News, Abuja.
The Deputy Chairman of the Lagos chapter of the People's Democratic Party, Olakbino, says the victory of the PDP in the last Ekiti governorship election is the least of victories to come the way of the party. The Lagos PDP top shot vows the party is set to take over the state and the entire southwest come 2015. Olajumoke Olatunji completes the story.
Democratic Party's victory in the Ekiti governorship election is still generating debate. The PDP camp in Lagos says policy of the defeated Governor Kayode Fayemi contributed to his fall. The party ordered that the inspiration drawn from the Ekiti experience will assist in its bid to capture Lagos. Deputy Chairman of the Lagos PDP, Olakbino, says APC leaders have failed and he has all assurances that the people of the state will vote massively for the party just as they did in Ekiti State.
The government that has been in power since 1999 in Lagos State, represented by AD, metamorphosing to ACD, ACN, AC, and eventually APC, is seriously disconnected from the people, because most of their policies are anti-people. These are policies that doesn't deliver anything on the table of the masses. Take it from education to health to housing. There's nothing for them to showcase as addressing the core problem of the people. So come 2015, I'm more than confident that if we get it right in terms of fielding a very acceptable candidate to Lagosians, victory is assured.
Lagos PDP secretary says the party is ready to take over the entire southwest, starting with Ekiti, also vowing that Lagos will not be an exemption.
Well, before Ekiti victory, there has always been signs that Lagos might vote against APC, and the signs are as follows. The Lagos government have become so insensitive to the feelings of the people of Lagos, to the extent that they have arbitrarily increased the tuition in LASU. The market people too, they were crying. They are not happy with the government. The last mile people, their behavior along the road is nothing to write home about. The land use charges, where landlords are being billed exorbitantly, they have moved so far away from the mainstream. They don't care about the feelings of the ordinary Lagosian. And the reason for all these things is that they know all along that the people vote have never been counted. They have always been used to fraud, manipulation, stuffing of ballot boxes, compromising the system to win. That is why they are so insensitive to all these things they are doing to the masses. And Ekiti election is a very good case in point. When all their leakages, all their fraudulent practices were curtailed, and they allowed the real election to be counted, you could see that they were defeated in all the 16 local governments.
In a rally held recently in Lagos, Governor-elect of Ekiti State, Ayo Fayose, urged residents of the state to vote massively for a change in the 2015 elections. Olajumoke Olatunji, CoreTV News, Lagos.
The only power plant supplying electricity to the Gaza Strip was knocked out of commission by Israeli shelling. We'll bring you these details and more after this break.
CoreTV News now provide a platform for live coverage of political rallies and electioneering campaign from anywhere in Nigeria. Political news stories, political editorial reviews, political discussions, personality profile, People's Parliament from the National, State and Local Government Assembly. Contact us now on 0803-471-8550 or 0803-724-9733. 01453-3407.
Our 24-hour news station. You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime News.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, our 24-hour news station.
Thank you so much for being there. The only power plant supplying electricity to the Gaza Strip was knocked out of commission by Israeli shelling. Deputy Director of the Energy Authority in the Palestinian territory has said. Fathi Al-Sheikh Khalid says the power plant has stopped working due to Israeli shelling, which damaged steam generator and later hit the fuel tanks, setting them on fire. The damage of the power plants exacerbated the heavy damage to civilian infrastructure in Gaza, already inflicted during the 22 days of the Israeli offensive aimed at stamping out militant rocket fire and destroying attack tunnels. Besides the power plant, Gaza also purchases electricity from Israel, but many of the supply lines have been badly damaged by the recent fighting, Sheikh Khalil said. In an address to youth leaders from the African continent, United States President Barack Obama says the future stability of the world depends on African nations achieving prosperity and self-reliance. Obama promised to host U.S.-Africa Leaders Summit next week. He said it will be the largest gathering any American president has hosted with African leaders and government. The meeting is expected to bring around 50 African leaders to Washington, with the exception of pariah figures like Zimbabwe's Robert Mugabe and Sudan's Omar al-Bashir. Obama announced plans for the major summit in June last year during his first major tour of African countries. He asked what Africa can do for itself. Obama underlines the importance of the rule of law, of respect for civil rights and human rights. And that's the news for this hour. Do join us again, top of the hour for more. Thank you for watching. I am Ebolomo Adekunle.
Kò sóhun tó lè tí kì í dẹ̀rọ̀ ọ̀dọ́dún dé ọmọ asọ̀lú dẹ̀rọ̀. Ẹ̀yin ènìyàn wa ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun ṣe ti wá rí i pé àjùmọ̀bí kò kan tàánú ẹni Ọlọ́run rántí ni ló ń ṣe ni lóore. Àsìkò ti tó tópin yóò dé bá kòsíkòsí gbogbo ìgbà. Ọ̀dọ́dún rèé o ọmọ asọ̀lú dẹ̀rọ̀ Alhaji Abdulfatai Akínadé Akínbádé ẹni tí kì í fipá kan bọ̀ kan nínú oníwà tútù bí àdàbà àfòótọ́ ọ̀nù tẹ́rù kàpanẹ̀ ẹni tí ìjọba àwa ara wa yé yékéyéké òní kẹ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká dìbò wa fún lọ́jọ́ kẹsàn-án oṣù kẹjọ ọdún yìí. Káyọ̀ ní rọ̀sọ̀mù fún gbogbo wa ní ìpínlẹ̀ yìí ìdàgbàsókè ilẹ̀ abínibí rẹ̀ àti ibi tó gbé dàgbà ló jẹ́nógún débi kàṣíàrà ẹ dìbò fún Alhaji Akínbádé gẹ́gẹ́ bí gómìnà kí ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun ó lè dòṣùpá tó ní téńté. Ẹgbẹ́ Labour Party ààyè ààgùn digbí la wà ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun àti lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà. Ọ̀rọ̀ gbogbo wa ni ó dẹ̀rọ̀ ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun. Olùkéde ìgbìmọ̀ ìpolongo ìbò fún Alhaji Fatai Akínadé Akínbádé gẹ́gẹ́ bí gómìnà. Labour Party forward ever.